Training College a special program. Today we're going to talk about first we'll talk about mental health awareness. For those who attended different classes and you enjoy your lecture, also if you have any question in regard to your module, in regard to nursing practice, mental health awareness, I can answer your question between 30 minutes from now. Then at 4, we're going to do talk about life in UK, lifestyle. We talk about things like how to support yourself in regard to development in the NHS job, or in care, how to provide safe and evidence-based care in regard to providing support, not just for patients, but for you, when we talk about resilience and self-care. First, let's kick it starting. My name is Alex. If you are on there and you need any support, you want to engage, or if you just say you want to join me, let me know, and I can always invite you in. So, all right, great. We have massive challenges in regards to mental health awareness. Who is going to talk about it? Who is going to say it? Who's going to encourage individual to talk about mental health? This is our challenges, that we need to cover the gap, right? So when it comes to talking about mental health awareness, it's about encouraging early treatments, right? It's about encouraging early treatments, because when people are become more and more aware, it become more challenge, not just to individual, to their family, to society, and also to those looking after them, either family, friends, or carers, because some carers are very emotional, and when it comes to caring for people who really needed that help and they couldn't find it, you know, and it's also tiring when you had to do extra shift to look after someone who is very challenging. Although some of you get paid for it, some of you are charitable support in regard to promoting mental health awareness or treatment. However, encouraging early treatments, you know, when we are talking about early treatment, we're talking about early intervention. You know, early intervention can start by you visiting your GP. It doesn't matter whatever is wrong with you. Always make sure you seek professional. Thank you. If you're just joining us, we're going to talk about mental health awareness. Then at 4, we start talking about life in UK. So when it comes to mental health awareness, I say early intervention is very important. Yes, early intervention is very, very important. So now the advantage of early intervention is that you can get the right support, the right time, and also continue with your day-to-day lifestyle. So there's nothing will distract you. Some of the mental health issue can be managed quickly. Some of them can take long term. However, early intervention will give you that plan, that structure of something that you can be able to manage to get along in the society. So now, it's always good to support, to gain the right support. How do you gain the right support? So mental health awareness is also an advantage for us to spread the right support in the community. Yes, mental health awareness is also an advantage for people to know that, yes, this is the right way, this is the right route, this is the right community, this is the right service to speak, so that they will be able to listen to you. Because some of us, we are facing a lot of challenges when it comes to mental health. Some of us do not understand what mental health is. All right. And there are a lot of stigma regarding maybe culture, maybe community, depending on the society you belong to. However, mental health awareness is very important. Not only it supports evidence-based early intervention, early support that you can get, or early diagnosis and get the right professional, the right department to support you. It also gives you the support so that you be able to know, okay, what do I need to do now? What is the next step? What causes it? You know, let's talk about depression now. In some cases, you can have some aspect when it comes to kidney infection, having someone have depression. So seeking early intervention, you can find out that it will be difficult for this person to get to the stage of anxiety or being aggressive. So also, the right awareness means having the right professional that will support you, that will give you the right support. So at the end of the day, you will not be able to go beyond your capacity to gain the support that you actually needed in the community, right? So now, we also talk about encouraging early support. So me talking about what's wrong with me, even just talking about it alone, me and you talking about it, sometimes we want to talk to people. We want to be listened to. We want to hear our voice, you know. So mental health awareness is also part of listening. It's also part of encouraging people to speak out that yes, it is right to be unaware. It is right for it not to be easy. It is right for things to be difficult. However, speaking out help you to get the right support when it comes to mental health awareness. Again, we talk about education. So education is also very important. Now, the education part of mental health awareness is a challenge in our community. You need the right professional, people with experience, and people who have actually not just patient center experience, but also professional. Those who are able to tell you what is wrong and they are able to give you the support you needed. This actually help you to avoid stigma, to avoid the wrong diagnosis. It also help you to know the right place, the right specialist. So now let's talk about, when we talk about education, it's also good we talk about those who are promoting mental health awareness, right? So for you to be, I know anyone can talk about mental health, right? Or mental health issue if you're aware. Socially, or when we look at stereotypical conversation, a lot of people can say anything about mental health. It doesn't really mean they have mental health problem, right? Common mental health, I will say that everyone in four or everyone in five we get in day to day can involve maybe something like anxiety, depression, loneliness. Majority of these things are temporary. You agree with me? Majority of these things are temporary. So it's not something massive that, you can't get cured, you can't get support, right? It is only when it goes on for a very long time that deep into clinical challenges when it comes to mental health issue, when it goes on for a very long time. Say, for example, I have a job I'm going to attend today, right? And my boss is at 1 p.m., right? And I leave my house late. You're going to expect lots of anxiety, isn't it? Oh, I need to rush to the bus stop. I need to rush to the bus stop so I'll be able to get this bus now. That's anxiety going on there, going on there. So this still went on. You get, maybe you miss your bus. Anxiety increase. The next step, oh, how am I going to get to work? Let me call my colleague so I'm going to be running late. Some of us who were in this bus now, because you are in a hurry, you're going to start thinking of even pressing the bus like faster driver, faster driver. And if anyone is getting off the bus, you might be one of those people. Thank you so much, Jehovah Craft. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. So if you were in the bus, that you're going to be one of those people going to be, oh, get off, telling other passenger to get off quickly because you're in a hurry to work. These are part of mental health issue. However, if this thing went on, maybe every day, you always be that kind of person who is in a hurry, having anxiety, or missing your time to work, or you get to work late, and you confused, you don't really understand what is going on. It's not just ordinary you anymore. So this is the time you need to seek professional help. So if you are in the UK, I will advise you, if you're that kind of person that doesn't really know what is wrong with you, but you know that something is wrong, you get confused or you're having this anxiety a lot, make sure you visit your GP. The first thing you do, you know, I always tell people that when we look at mental health, it's just like we're talking about physical health issue, right? Yes, it's just like we're talking about physical health issue. So there's no difference between mental health issue and physical health issue. The only difference is that you kind of have more of psychological conversation, psychological assessment, or psychological specialists in when we talk about mental health assessment now. However, when we are going deep down, we find that physical health is not different at all when we look at mental health awareness, right? So now we're talking about encouraging, we're talking about support, talking about education, we're talking about having the freedom to talk and also the freedom to understand, to visit your GP. At the same time, having the right education before you talk about mental health awareness. Hello, who do I have today?
May Joy, Mary.
Oh, hello, Joy. How are you?
I know. Sorry, I'm in the room. I just off the light. I didn't know the thing is even you started because
Sorry.
I think we are like 1 hour ahead of you people.
Yes.
I think we are an hour ahead of you people now.
Yeah, you are 1 hour ahead of us. I'm hundred
No,
percent
no, no.
sure.
UK is 1 hour ahead of us right now.
I'm not sure. Right now is 20 minutes, 18 minutes to 4.
Okay, okay. Sorry, my
18 minutes.
front camera is not doing justice.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Right
All
now
right.
it's 18 minutes to 4.
Okay, okay,
18
okay.
minutes to
Okay,
4.
it's
So
five
Nigeria is going
here.
to be, you are in Nigeria, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Nigeria is going to be maybe about 5, I think, or 3
So,
to 5.
so
Okay.
five. Yeah.
Yeah, to
Yes,
5.
sir.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Because it's 4. The program's supposed to start at 4, but what happened is that we have different topic I'm going to talk about. So right now I'm talking about mental health awareness. Like, how do we promote mental health awareness? So I was just looking at academical part. I was just looking at academical part of mental health awareness when we talk about
Okay, sir.
the right people to promote it and the right
Okay, sir.
opportunity to get support. And I was also
Okay,
talking
sir.
about stigma. A lot of people doesn't believe in mental health in the first place, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you need to be in the right environment, the right culture, also understanding of common mental health issue that is not massive something, something like anxiety, depression. These are common mental health issue that if you didn't treat it, they become more serious. They become more clinical. You know what I mean? And it's always good to get the right stuff at the right time. That also depends on us or depends on professional. Like in the UK, we have local clinic like GP and all that. So you have the right to visit your a GP or your doctor at any time you want. Although you have to book appointment anyway. But in Nigeria, I don't know if it's like that. However, um, many of us doesn't really believe in mental health. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's only when we have headache we kind of visit the
You're right.
GP.
You're right. You're right. We don't pay
But when
attention to mental health in Nigeria.
no, it doesn't. But if you're in the UK, I think the GP, a lot of people doesn't also know that GP is a place you can also go and seek support. You know what I mean? So they
Mm.
think, oh, when we talk about mental health, you have to go to psychiatric hospital or psychiatric to assess you. Whereas if you are that kind of person that is having this anxiety or depression, which they are common, is a minor mental health issue. When we talk about mind depression, you can actually go straight to your GP, which will give you early intervention support, in regard to working with the community, which is really straightforward, you know.
Yeah.
Princess Pretty, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. So now, I just want to open more opportunity on YouTube so that a lot of people will have access to engage, because some people doesn't know how to use TikTok, some
Yeah,
doesn't know
you're right.
how to engage on Facebook. So, and on YouTube, you can go back to it and listen to the conversation, which helps a lot. So now, I don't know about you. What do you think about mental health awareness?
I think mental health awareness is it's very important, because the truth of the matter is that so many Nigerians and so many people go through it without knowing. Some now have to see, maybe when you are going through mental health, since you don't know that, what I'm going through, I'm actually going through mental health challenge, they begin to think is diabolical. They begin to think it's diabolical. Maybe somebody wants to kill them, or I don't understand how I'm feeling. Maybe you understand that kind of a thing. A whole lot of things. You begin to attribute it to something else. Maybe somebody wants to kill me. Maybe it is charm. Okay, let
Yeah,
me give an example. Maybe it's charm. Somebody has thrown charm somewhere. I remember sometimes last year, after
yeah.
my breakup, it was really crazy. I was actually feeling as if, man, I was going crazy. So all I did at that point, I could not talk to anybody. I just told myself, man, you need a vacation. You need to go to somewhere. And I just got myself, arranged my things, got my two kids, and we just went out for a vacation. I think that was like a 4 or 5 days. When I came back, I felt so relieved. I
Wow.
felt as if heavy burden has been taken away from me. I got myself back again, because at that point, I've been able to, you know, I disabused my mind of everything. I've suffered everything. I just went there, I was like a baby again.
Mm,
I refused thinking about anything. I was
wow.
focused. I some book on the project I want to do, and I started doing. And now I started asking myself, what are those things you can do very well? I started channeling my energies to those things.
Mm,
I produce liquid soap, I do bleach, I do perfumes. I was now carrying out research on those things, trying
mm,
to carry
mm,
out research on all these things I produce. Try to do them. Even if I don't have a good market for them, I just produce them and keep men looking at them. It's like, okay, girl, you're doing something. And that was how I dampled into the poetry, paid. I started doing things that I love doing. I noticed that gradually I was actually getting off it. It was when I came to on TikTok. I think that day you were the one giving a talk, and you were not talking about mental health. That was
yes,
when I
yes.
think in Mr. Mario's show live. So they were talking about mental health. I
Oh,
was like,
oh, can you imagine, John? I forgot you. Thank you so much.
you know,
Forgive me.
sad. It was in
Because
Mr. Mario.
I haven't seen your face. I was just looking at who am I talking to. But the
People
voice
think
is just I can catch the voice. Oh my gosh. When you
that.
mention me for marriage to now, oh yes, I can catch who
Oh,
is talking.
you can't catch her up there. you know, that was what I was like. Uh. So what I was actually suffering was I was going through mental health challenge, and I didn't know. You know,
Yeah,
that was when I knew. Oh, so what was I was actually going through was like I was actually having a mental health issue.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know it was mental. I just felt, what is wrong with me? Something is actually not right with me. I'm actually not okay. You understand? Let me just take a vacation. Let
Definitely.
me just go somewhere and get myself relieved, and let me be fine again. So
I'm really
I think,
happy that you didn't disagree with me that it wasn't mental health. You know what I mean? Because I'm not specialist to say, okay, you were having mental health issue. Yeah.
yeah,
But the fact that it's good when you notice that you were not okay.
you're
And
right. Yeah.
just like when we have normal headache, when we have, when your body is warm, right? You know that, oh,
Yeah.
my body is warm, my body is cold. You can actually feel it, isn't it? So
Yeah.
mental health is something that when you look at, if you picture it, let's try and picture it the way it is. If they said,
Mm.
draw mental health, right? It's going to
Mm.
look zigzag that you won't be able to explain it when you are drawing it. right?
You are right, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
But when they ask you, draw someone who is having headache, you're gonna measure. Even if the person head is straight, you're gonna be bending it. You're trying to
You're
bend.
right.
When the headache was having issue here, you're trying to bend, bend it like this place. Look at where the pain is. When you talk about someone who has
Yeah.
a broken leg, you can actually explain someone who broke leg, isn't it? You can bend the leg,
Yeah.
get the structure, isn't it? So mental health
Yeah.
is something we can't really explain at all. We can't
Mm.
explain it. So I think we need to talk about it more so that people will be free. They won't be ashamed. Just like the way I will talk about, oh, it's like I have headache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we can get help quickly because I know majority of the impact of mental. Why am I saying this? Some of the negative impact of mental health is that let's talk about drug misuse, right? Majority
Mm.
of these people can have challenges of psychosis, right? And they can have
Yeah.
issue of aggression, and they can have issue of being confused, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing, understanding their environment or what they do. So,
Yeah.
like some people who are married now, right? You can have issue with your partner. You won't be able to know that. Oh, this person mental health is, this is a problem now. You won't talk about it. Or you keep saying, like men, stigma against men is violence. Men are violent. That kind of thing.
Mm.
But when
Yeah.
a woman keeps shouting all the time, you say, oh, if you're in your culture, you say, oh, this woman, my wife is very disrespectful all the time. Or my
Right.
sister is very disrespectful all the time. You know, or my mom doesn't listen. That kind of thing.
You're right.
Where-
You're right.
Whereas something is wrong there. Something is wrong.
Something is
You know?
actually wrong. You're right.
Yeah. Because nobody, no, I don't think any human being will actually be unusual on a normal basis.
Yeah.
You understand? There are
Yeah.
jokes, there are pranks, but when someone is being unusual, that is where me I think something is wrong now.
You're right.
Something is definitely wrong. So yes, do
Somebody
you have any idea how to promote mental health awareness in your place or in the global community?
we promoting mental health in Nigeria is very, very important, sir. It's something that we can really, really, really do, because so many of them are not just aware that they're actually going through this. You understand? That's just it. Like what I earlier said, they begin to feel okay, maybe somebody wants to kill me, somebody wants to do this to me. But we
Yeah,
just need the awareness in Nigeria. I'm not sure there's mental health awareness in Nigeria. If it is, I've not heard, or which means it's not so loud. It's not loud at all. It's not loud at all.
yeah,
If not for TikTok, I wouldn't have known. If not for
yeah.
TikTok, I wouldn't have known
You
there's
mean you
anything.
mean I was the only person that make you aware of mental?
And there's a course I had to run in your academy on mental health too. There was one
Oh,
of these courses. Yeah, I had to greet. So I just took time. I really take out time to read about the mental health. Wow, man, this is very important too.
wow. That's
So
the free program online, isn't it?
program, yes, the free program on mental health. Yeah.
All right. That's very good.
Yeah.
For anyone who is watching, you can actually visit ofctraining.co.uk and you click on career or news. Then you can have access to lots of free training in regard to 6C if you want to be a nurse in the UK, or if you are thinking of passing your interview as a support worker, and or you want to know more about mental health awareness. So there's a link you also click when you are on there, looking at the mental health awareness. You understand different sections of mental health. For those who wants to work in prison, you want to work in PICU, psychiatric intensive care unit. So this area, you can actually have lot of awareness there that can help you to pass interview. And if you need support to come to the UK legally, I'm available to support you in regard to how you can get training. You don't have to study anything. You don't have to pay too much in regard to getting the right qualification. You don't need PhD to get a job in the UK. You don't need the uncle to sign you or uncle to give you a letter. So I'm always available. So coming to YouTube is something that I'll be doing often to start encouraging people for free and to make sure people get the right support. But if I'm not on YouTube like this, anything you do is pay. Is pay for it. So now let's start talking about life in the UK. Life in the UK. So now we're going to also talk about, maybe if you want to talk about life in Nigeria, since you are online now, I don't know. You have the power to talk about it. So now, one of the things I want to focus on when it comes to talking about life in the UK, I'm totally going to focus on when we talk about jobs, when we talk about why is UK, what makes UK different, what makes UK better than every other place. So now, these are things majority of us need to be aware of, and we need to be able to, before you travel, these are questions you need to ask yourself. Because majority of us are talking, oh, I'm suffering, I'm stressed. These are the challenges I'm having in my community. I want to just go to UK any which way. No, I'm of the opinion, and as an advocate, I would say, no, don't do that. So I'm here today to give you some answers to basic questions that you have on how to travel to UK the right way. And also, what kind of education do I need? What kind of job do I need in care? Because in the UK, when we talk about health and social care, there are over 200 workforces in the health and social care. So it's not just a support worker, nurses, doctor that we have in the health and social care. So it's also very important to have good awareness. So now, it will be difficult for you to have on your CV saying you have over 5 or 10 years experience and you do not understand this basic stuff, or you have PhD in care and you do not understand this basic stuff. These are majority of concern when someone who is interviewing you, who sees your CV, and he can actually picture it out. You do not understand where you are. You don't have any education in regard to the job you are putting in for. So now, today we're going to talk about life in the UK. How does this make it different? How is it the best environment when we talk about challenges, opportunity, and where is the right place? What are the things that make UK different from every other society? So now, in my own experience, I think UK is one of the safest places to stay. UK is one of the safest places to stay. And I see UK as a society that is tolerant, right? Society that is tolerant. And also, it's a society that actually has a legal, has a regulated approach when it comes to no discrimination. When they said no discrimination, I trust UK has a regulation that actually protects people against discrimination, that actually protects your religion, that protect your sexuality or disability. So now, if you are that kind of person that is not privileged in your community and you want to practice your religion, I think UK is one of the places that gives you the best culture that you can practice that lifestyle. You know, some of us, we have this lifestyle that need make away with, like when we just talk about mental health now. Some people are finding it difficult to be able to say who they want to be, what they want to be, what they would like to be, what kind of place they want to go, what kind of group they want to join, what kind of activity they want to take part. So UK is a place that can actually give you that opportunity, that can support you to have that opportunity to enjoy that safe um, opportunity, safe activity, safe community, safe group, and tolerant society that can accept you the way you are, right? So now, when we look at cost of living in the UK, that's another question you always need to ask. How am I going to survive when I get to the UK? Yes, this job they're talking about, COS. If you ask me one question, is COS good? I will say no. Why I will say COS is not good? Majority of us lack the understanding about how immigration works. If you go back to before 2019, there is a language we normally know that embassy or immigration is having when it comes to high skill migrant. So you need to find out what is my category of the high skill migrant. That's the first approach to think of coming to UK. So when you look at the COS now, you are going in coming in for the COS. COS is something to me, it is something that it has been giving opportunity for lots of people to get abused, to get intimidated, to get jobs that are not favorable to them. Before 6 months, 1 year in the UK, they're crying that, oh, look at the environment I'm working. Whereas, if you understand what we mean by high skill migrant, you cannot expect to have PhD or have good education and coming down on COS, then you come to UK, you are suffering. No, it's not supposed to be that way. But because you didn't ask simple questions, you didn't meet the right people, you didn't gain the right support, you didn't come in through legit organization when we talk about healthcare organization. So the first question I would like you to ask when your brain is thinking about COS, the first question is, what kind of job do they have for me? What kind of job do they have for me? What kind of people am I going to be looking after if it's a care job? And when it comes to work-based approach, when we talk about regulation, how is this job regulated? Because there are some recruitment organization or jobs that you are coming to do in the UK. Their policy says 0 hour contract. Yes, their policy said 0 hour contract. You can't expect to come to the UK and apply for a job, an organization that is offering 0 hour contract, and you are expecting to be happy in your job. It's not going to happen because organization that is offering 0 hour contract job and you are working there, there is never promise that you can do as much hour, as much shift, as much money you could make to survive when we look at cost of living in the UK, right? When we look at cost of living in the UK, the job that you get access or who brought you to the UK that is 0 hour contracted, even if they promise you unlimited hour, as far as the organization is based on 0 hour contract. 0 hour contract means there might be possibility for you not to be able to work for a week or 2 weeks, and you won't get paid, and you were not contracted to how many hours you can do or they have during the week, right? Immigration can say, okay, this band of jobs, right? This code, you can make between 24 to 35,000 pounds a year. That's fine. However, if your COS organization is 0 hour contract, there is possibility for you to be with them. You won't get shift for a week, 2 weeks, a month, even months. You won't be able to get shift. So the next thing you need to ask is your organization 0 hour contract. If it is, for you to accept 0 hour contract, I will expect you the moment you get to the UK, look for permanent job of extra 20 hours. You know, if you are free, you can do that 20 hours. And if you have much hour to do with your contracted COS organization, you continue doing that. However, if you understand what we mean by 0 hour contract, and you are that kind of person that have these innovation skills, you come to the UK, you have much more opportunity than those who do not have any skills. So it's not just care job. Having innovation skills or having other skills and knowledge or education can actually be an opportunity for you to be able to engage with other departments of job workforce now, right? Is it the NHS? Is it care? As I said before, care job has over 200 workforces. Yes, we have the clinical department, we have the non-clinical department. So when you're coming into the UK, when we are talking about life in the UK, it's very important you understand when we talk about different kind of job policy, job-based approach when it comes to providing you the right hour, the right money, and the right environment. Yes, it's not just the right hour, the right money, the right environment. So the first question you ask is your organization 0 hour contract or is full time? I'm going to be working. Obviously, COS is possible for them to issue COS for you, but you are responsible to know that this organization have job by questioning them. What kind of contract do you have? Is this 0 hour contract? The moment it says 0 hour contract, 0 hour contract, there's possibility for you not to get shift a week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Yes. So when you understand that this company is 0 hour contract and you still want to accept it, that is based on what are other questions that you need to ask yourself. So now, some of the questions I would like you to ask yourself is that what are other skills, knowledge, or education do you have before you come to the UK? Because you on COS, you have right to do extra 20 hours, isn't it? You have right to do extra 20 hours. So now, do you have any innovation skill? Do you have any education? Do you have knowledge? Do you have something that, yes, I have these skills, I have this knowledge, like if you are from developing or they call it handwork or hand skills, DIY, do it yourself. What are your capacity to be able to do something that, okay, this thing will be useful for me because my company is 0 hour contracted job base I'm working with, and they gave me COS, right? So there's possibility I won't be able to get shift for a week or 2 weeks, right? Yes, there's possibility. So your duty now is to look for part-time job. So the first thing you do, you need to make sure you have the CV already that you used to get this job. That's fine. The next step is to upgrade that CV now to what you can do best or extra qualification you have, the knowledge you have, or the innovation skill you have. What kind of job? Where is the job? What area can I go for this job? That's the next question you need to ask yourself. So the next thing you need to understand is that UK has laws when it comes to road. Is it driving? When you have to have your driving license? Yes, you need your driving license. You need your driving license. So it's not just about coming to UK. People always disagree with me when I say COS is not the best way to come to the UK. The only COS you need to use in coming to the UK is when you get that COS from direct organization, when we talk about care home, nursing home, hospital, or NHS. However, if it's not between those four area of organization, you need to understand that there are some jobs, we call it 0 hour contract job. So 0 hour contract job, there's possibility for you to be in the UK 1 month, you're not going to get a job because the organization you have, they do not have enough hours, enough contract, they don't have enough place they can send you to go and work. Obviously, you need to work for them to pay you. But organization that is contracted that you need to cover this hour, maybe let's say 37.5 a week or 40 hours a week. This is your contract. You must complete it. That's great. Obviously, every week, my rota is arranged there. 1 month, 2 months rota is clear. However, you're still entitled to do 20 hours. If that is contracted job, then you have to look at your well-being now. I have contracted job. I need to have time to rest. I need to have time to relax. I need to have time to upgrade myself. This job, I might need development now. Maybe the money they pay me is not enough. You need to do your self-development, your self-discipline. You can't be in a country, you can't be in the United Kingdom and you do not have any qualification between 6 months or a year. So self-development is also very important. Sophia Best. Thank you so much, Sophia Best. How are you? Long time I haven't seen you. Very wonderful topic. Thank you, sir, for this topic. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. So it's very important you understand when we talk about the lifestyle in the UK. So in the job area, in the health and social care, we have clinical and non-clinical. So now, some of you might be that kind of person who used to do DIY before you came to the UK. So non-clinical department might be something you need to look at for, okay, what are the things going on here? If I have full-time job now, which is 37.5 or 40 hours a week, that's fine. If you need extra 20 hours, that's when you look at what do I need to use these 20 hours for? Do your research. Do I need these 20 hours for more job? Will I have more time to rest? Will this job give me break? Or do I need these 20 hours to go and develop myself? Right? Or do I need these 20 hours to find out what is going on in the UK? If you ask me, UK is the best, one of the best places you can visit. Every city you visit in the UK, there is always holiday fun. There is always affair, things you can do that will give you more healthy life, good health and well-being. And you can learn a lot from every city you visit in the UK. So the first thing you need to do for yourself, what's going on here? What do I do? Where am I going? What is the next step in the next 5, 10 years? So these are very important questions you need to ask yourself. What do I need to do now? You know, there is nothing like you have to have PhD to do very well, or you need to do 100 hours a week to be the best in the UK. No, it's not like that. That 20 hours that you have, extra 20 hours you have, is something you need to use. Okay, my 20 hours now, can I use it to study? Or there are distance learning course I could do. You know, like OFC Training College, we offer lots of support when it comes to workplace development. You can book appointment with OFC Training College. Just tell them your problem. All right. The first thing we do is say submit your CV. We're going to ask you to submit your CV, original CV you have back home. That's what we ask you to submit. Not the CV you use in getting the COS. We ask you for the CV you have, original CV. That CV will help us to know that, okay, you need more education or you did not need any more education. So we can also say, okay, if you don't need any education, you don't need further education, you might need work-based support. Then we sign you up. Our work-based support, what our work-based support does, it helps you to build your confidence and give you the right direction and help you to construct a good CV that's now able to bring your personality, your skills, your knowledge to the forefront of that job you are looking for. That is where your opportunity now begin to open. Right now, you know what to do now. You know, okay, I don't have to study anymore. I just need to build my confidence. All right, these are the skills, these are the job I used to do back home. But here, because you haven't done it before, you don't have experience. This is another chance for you. You have your full-time job is there. You can set up a volunteer opportunity. Of course, get your CV to that organization. If it's 5 hours a week, and gain experience in that job, that knowledge, that skills, that innovation ability that you have. If it's 20 hours a week, go and get something on. You know what I mean? Get something on. You might be in Canada, you might be in America, you might be in another part of the world. And I'm saying this. That is the best way you can develop yourself. It's not about doing 100 hours a week. If there is, I don't think, do we have 100 hours a week? I'm not sure how that works. You know, it's not about doing 100 hours a week. It's about doing the job that will put money, food in your table first. The second one is how to develop yourself. Because why is this important? We're talking about life expectancy here. We're talking about mental health awareness. We're talking about you providing the best of you and also supporting your loved ones. If you're that kind of person that have family, right? You don't want to walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and you do not have common sense anymore, right? So the best thing you do first, I said, when you come, you look at where you're going to stay, the job contract, read your job contract. I expect you, once they give you your job contract, use 48 hours to study it. Every question, get a jotter, put every question down. You know, this is where we can support you. We can support you to visit us. If you need one-to-one, if you need face-to-face online, we can support you to come on Zoom, not on YouTube. Otherwise, we are not protecting your privacy. You know, once you are in the UK, you need to respect people's privacy. And you need to also be very professional. Do not go online, right? Do not go online and say things you don't know or talk about people lifestyle. Do not mention people name that they did not permit you to mention online. And do not engage in activity that you are not having responsibility to defend yourself, right? Especially when you work in the health and social care. Because when we look at health and social care, it's about looking after people, protecting people, safeguarding them. You are not only safeguarding the patient you are looking after, you are also safeguarding people you are working with. When we look at healthcare and safety, right? You are safeguarding the people you are looking after, safeguarding their family, safeguarding your staff, your colleagues, and also protecting yourself. Otherwise, because someone who has good behavior, good mental well-being can look after another person, isn't it? Let's be frank about it. If you do not have good well-being, there's no way you look after anybody, especially when you have family. If you can't look after yourself, there's no way you can look after your family. So when it comes to lifestyle in the UK, as I said before, UK is one of the safest places you can stay in the world. And apart from that, you need to understand when UK is talking about tolerance, respect, valued for individual. Mostly if you work in the health and social care. These are things you need to make sure you keep in your head. All right. So again, let's come back to contracts. So now you have extra 20 hours. The first question you ask yourself, all right, I have extra 20 hours now. What do I need to do with these 20 hours? Is it to develop myself, to gain more education, or to get voluntary job? If it's 5 hours, 4 hours a week, that's fine. You know, there are many unlimited voluntary job you can do. Depend on your knowledge, your skills, your innovation ability. Some voluntary organization can also support you with training. So now, job security is also very important. Job security. So now, in my own way of defining job security is to have something that can protect you. It's just like when we talk about mental health, having to have group, people you can speak to, things you do that can help you to engage in your day-to-day lifestyle, right? So now job security is part of this when we talk about union, when we talk about understanding your contract, understanding your well-being, when to take break. So union is one of the best thing you can join when you are working in the UK. So the advantage of union is that union can help you with workplace development. They can also help you with legal conversation when it comes to your pay, when it comes to some challenges you are having that you yourself, because of culture wise, you may not be able to understand how to communicate clearly. So union will be able to give you some education or conversation one-to-one with your union representative to support you to know, oh, if I need to develop myself at work, how will I approach my manager? What level of knowledge do I need? Some union have free training. I'm not going to mention any union here now, but I'll try and do a special program that will tell you the best union that can support you when we talk about workplace development, right? So union can also help you when you make mistake at work, because no one is perfect, right? No one is perfect. So union can also help you when you make mistake at work. So that's very important that you can engage yourself with union, that you can get accurate support, accurate help, accurate self-development, accurate professional development. Because majority of these things support you when you are in public place. Do you know that? Of course, it supports you when you're in public place, because majority of international staff, the challenges, majority of them, where some of my colleague was telling me, is that they do not know how to communicate clearly. They do not know what not to say. So now when you have issue at work, there are things you don't want to say. There are things you want to say. You know, there are things you want to say. So having the right union will support you to gain this knowledge. Okay, this is the organization that I want to talk to, and this is the thing I want. This is the right support that I want. How can they offer this to me? Right? How can they offer this to me? So it's your challenge, it's your responsibility. Let me use that word. It's your responsibility to know what to say, because you are responsible for your behavior. You are responsible for what you say. You are responsible for your response. Yes, you are responsible for the thing that happened. You're also responsible for the action. Except you have union that will be able to help you. Okay, this is the way it works now, my friend. Pick up this and do that. Right? So it helps a lot when you have the right union, the right person to speak to, and the right community. The right community. What kind of community you belong to before? If you are a religious kind of person, you need to join maybe your religious group. If it's Christian, Muslim, whatever background you have, right? So it's very important that we have this. So another thing you need to understand when we talk about the best thing to understand is safe environment. How can I engage in safe environment? So we talk about understanding the union. We talk about understanding the company policy and procedure when it comes to your contract. Is it 0 hour contract? If it's 0 hour contract, make sure you plan ahead, because there are sometimes you might not have shift. Yes, there are sometimes you might not have shift. Now, as I said before, when you come to UK, you have opportunity to spread your wings. It doesn't matter whatever religion you belong to. It doesn't matter your sexuality. It doesn't matter your disability. So when you come to UK, you have opportunity to do whatever you want to do. But you need to also understand those things that others doesn't like. Don't do to others what you don't want others to do to you. So if you're in the UK in your first year, make sure you grab one thing under your 20 hours to be able to have increase in your education. It doesn't matter. There are some basic certificate course you can do. If it's upgrading your English or upgrading your skills that you actually have. I remember first time I came to the UK, I was having skills at talking too much. So I had to go into teaching. I go and learn how to teach. So now that gave me confidence. I'm not only talking, but I also have qualification as a teacher. You see the difference now. So the same thing can happen to you. I don't know what you're good at. All I know, majority of you comes here with COS. So the first thing you do, grab your 20 hours. Make your 20 hours golden hour. What are you going to do with it? Right? So now we only have 4 minutes left now. We've talked about mental health today. We have also talked about life in the UK. So in the life in the UK, majority of things we talk about was we talk about cost of living and how to manage yourself. So if you live in London, I think London is a high cost area in the UK. Yes, London is a high cost area. But some people also said London is a high pay area. So when you live in London, there's possibility for your wages to be high when you live in London, of course. So now I think UK is a safe place. And we have different communities you can go. Every city you visit in the UK, there is always activity, there's always fun, there's always things you can do and you won't get tired. Any city you visit in the UK, every city have its own style, they have its own culture, they have their own tradition. So those are the things you need to understand in the UK. So if you go to Manchester area, if you go to West Midland, if you go to East Sussex, so I would say children's center area are always success area. Yeah, those areas they have lots unlimited activity for family. They have unlimited activity. They have lots of charity organizations. So for those who wants to use their 20 hours to do voluntary job in order for them to gain confidence in what they can do best. Success is one of the best area you can go. So if you need cheap area and you know your kind of job is not a high skill job, because we started when I talk about the difference between COS and high skill migrant. So rather than going for COS, I will advise you to go for high skill migrant. High skill migrant will not be able to talk about the challenges COS is having because majority of COS, they just want you because this job needs to be covered. We need staff right now. We need to cover this area of this job. That's all they want. Whereas high skill migrant, you're going to come in, you're well protected. Majority of high skill job application, they always put there, some of them they give you free accommodation for 6 months, free food for 3 months, free support, community awareness, um, double pay when you get to some, maybe after a year, after your, although it doesn't happen in the UK anymore, all contract must be based on benefits now, job. So it's already increased the minimum wage again in the UK. So now, when we talk about job security, is what you need to also focus on. What are the security for this COS? What are the security in high skill migrant job? So these are the things you need to put into perspective when you come into the UK. Don't just come in and when you come to UK, you start crying, oh, I'm suffering, I can't do this, I have this issue. No, do not do that. So now you can visit our website, ofctrainingcollege.co.uk, and you can always book appointment for one-to-one to have conversation. What do I want to do in the UK? We can give you support for left to right, step by step, one by one support that you can use to make sure you get the right support in the UK. So thank you very much for those who join us. I thank you very much. We meant to spend 30 hours today. However, we started by talking about mental health awareness, the importance of you looking after yourself, and also what it means when we talk about mental health awareness. It's about letting people know where to get early intervention and the right support, early treatment, and at the same time promoting good education in order for us to give better mental health awareness in the community. Also, you talking about mental health awareness, you need to have the right education to give people the right information in order for us to reduce the stigma in regard to mental health issue in the community. So now we also talk about life in the UK, where we mention many things that you need to look out for when it comes to policy, procedure, also talk about if it's 0 hour contract, if it's full-time job, and also know that 20 hours that you have extra to work, make it golden. Think of developing yourself, think of further study, think of voluntary job if you have the skills and knowledge and you don't have confidence. So these things are very important when it comes to coming to the UK. And the good thing about coming to UK is that we're also talking about UK is a tolerant society and they accept you. It doesn't matter what religion you belong to, it doesn't matter your sexuality, it doesn't matter your disability. However, you must understand what is your capacity when you come to UK, how you can benefit from this security and good environment that is in the UK. So we are always available for you. My name remains Alex from OFC Training College. We're going to call it a day now. I'll see you again maybe next Sunday. Thank you very much.